Last night I attended Faith Night at PNC Park, and so I wanted to talk about a couple of things that came up from there. First off, the night was so cool. The Bucks won, which is always good, but the main thing that was great was after the game. The game ended and everyone went to the first base line side, and they said, we want you to be in this section to this section, and the next thing you know, there are more people filling in the sections around that. And so there's about like 12,000 people, I think they said, who were there in that moment for the speaking of the players and of the coaches. And so it takes your breath away. It's like, wow, that many people care. That many people want to hear, what these people have to say. So I wanted to briefly just talk about a couple of things that when Clint was finishing up, because he basically gave a sermon, which he's done before, which is awesome. And I wanted to just talk about a couple of things. The first thing he said was his job was to make others' jobs easier. And I think for those who are in ministry or in a leadership role, that is your job. It's to make other people's jobs easier. And so the goal should be to not make them dread whenever you come in, but excited and happy because they're going to help you be able to do your job better. And they are going to get something from what you're doing. So the goal of the leader is to make other people's jobs easier. Another thing he said was he believes that in marriage, a husband and wife need to sharpen one another. They need to help one another get better on a constant basis. But I think that's just so cool that he was able to speak a little bit about marriage and just saying, hey, you need to be sharpening one another. You need to be lifting each other up. You need to be helping each other become that better person. I'm still young. I haven't been married that long, but it's cool just to hear from someone who's been married longer, who's been on this earth a little bit longer than I have, that that's what marriage is to him. One more thing that he said is he reads, but he doesn't read to be smart, he reads to learn. And I think we need to start rethinking about reading and how we view books nowadays, because quite often people think that, only smart people read. And only people who should be reading are smart. No, everyone should be trying to learn. It doesn't matter if you're still in school. It doesn't matter what stage of life you're in. We should be trying to constantly learn still. And books are a great way to do that. And so we need to encourage one another to read more often and to be able to learn more from books and not just, say, from TV. So the main thing that Clint wanted to talk about was this concept of team. And he used the Roman legion to define it. And so what the Roman legion would do before Caesar came along was they'd take their sword and they'd hit their chest and yell, integra. And so what integra means is whole, clean, complete. Before they go into battle, they're chanting together, we are unified, we are whole, we are ready to go. We're not worried about anything else. We're worried about right here, right now, and we're going to go and we're going to accomplish our goals together as a team, serving one another in our mission. Now what happens when Caesar comes along is he says, you will no longer take your sword, hit your chest, and yell integra. Instead, you will yell, Hail Caesar. Now, Hail Caesar is the thing that's kind of come through time. That when people think of the Roman army, they tend to think of, Hail Caesar. And that's the thing that's always in movies. And so we don't ever think about anything before that. So what Caesar basically did was he took this unity, he took this team, and he divided it. And he made the focus upon one person. Him. Now when our focus is solely on one person, dangerous things happen. And dangerous things happen like that in the realm of sports. So if someone in sports, makes the team all about themselves, then it's only about that person's success. And that's the only thing that matters to them. So if the only thing that matters is that one person's success, then who cares if the team does well? Who cares if the team has a winning record? And who cares if the team ever makes it to the championship game? Now, in the end, we all know that those things really don't matter in the grand scheme of things. But in the moment, in the game, in the battle, those things do matter. And so if you're going into it as, well, we got to do this for this person and only this person alone, then you're going to fail. Now, as Christians, we have Jesus and that one person focus that we have, and he is our King. And it is great for us to say, yes, I'm going to do this solely for Jesus. Yes, I'm going to solely go out and be there for him. But what about the people beside you? What about the brothers who are suffering? What about those who are around you who need you to help them through the thick and thin? Those who are struggling, those who are suffering. It's those people that we need to make sure we're working for. So it's not just about one person. It's not just about the person who has the occupation, or it's not just about that one person that we're looking towards. It's about the group of us. It's about the people who are going to be doing something great. So it's about a team. It's not just about an individual. Andrew McCutchen won an MVP a couple years ago, and he made it very clear that it wasn't just because of how well he did about hitting the ball, but Jesus had a plan for him with winning that MVP. And I think that plan tends to stem from, yes, at one point, he was the greatest player. And yes, he is the guy that people are looking to as that example, as that leader. But at the end of the day, one player cannot win it all. So people will talk about, well, before the season got started, how great the Pirates are going to be, and they struggled. They struggled, one, because Andrew McCutchen wasn't hitting the ball as well, but two, because as a team, they weren't gelled together yet. They weren't working well together yet. Now, we'll see what happens at the end of the season, but at the end of the day, the most important thing to know is it's not about you. It's not about me. It's about the one who has taken away our sins, and it is us loving others because we were loved first. And we were called to love one another as he loved us.